So, hi everyone, for the first time in quite a few years. I haven't done a video about epilepsy for this channel since 2016, and that's because I've been very lucky and my epilepsy has been pretty much under control since then. My last seizure was September 2015. One of the reasons I wanted to get this video out was because it's National Epilepsy Week this week. Epilepsy Action are doing a lot of stuff, trying to raise awareness. It's always good for people to share their stories and for people to find out a little bit more about epilepsy, because sadly it is still quite an unknown, or lots of people don't know much about it as a condition. Epilepsy Action are also launching the Epilepsy Space, a new kind of go-to website hub for young people. It's got some really great content on there. It's launching this week, so check it out. One of my videos is going on there, the one about what's in my handbag. Unfortunately, there's another reason why I'm making this video, and that is because I had my first seizure. So I'm recording this on a Sunday. I had my first seizure on Wednesday for the first time in nearly 5 years. So yeah, not great. Pretty weird to have had a seizure because, like I say, I've sort of disconnected myself a bit from epilepsy because it hasn't really affected me much for the last few years. So on Wednesday I was working from home like lots of other people are at the moment because of coronavirus. It is quite stressful at work, but kind of, I wouldn't say crazy enough to make me have a seizure, but I guess that could be a contributing factor. But I've also had, to be honest, outside of the fact that the whole coronavirus pandemic is pretty stressful for everyone, I know, for many different reasons. And because of it, I've also had to postpone my wedding, which has been a whole other bit of fun and games. So yeah, I know that there has been some stress going on, which may have led to the fact that I had a seizure on Wednesday. But equally, who knows? It could just be it was my time. My brain just decided to do it. Very quickly, I suddenly started feeling very strange, as if I was about to have a seizure. And I usually get quite a warning at a certain amount of time, called an aura, basically, that is a time that your brain is sort of telling you that something's wrong and you might be about to have a seizure. And I guess it's sort of a period of time for you to get yourself into a safe space or tell people that you're not feeling well. So luckily for me, my fiance was in the house, started shouting his name and saying that I didn't feel well. So he ran upstairs, tried to sort of start calming me down. So just to mention, he's never seen me have a seizure before. He was always known that I've had epilepsy. And he's seen me have moments in the past where I haven't felt well and I've had to sort of been out and about, and I've had to kind of come home or even just take 5 minutes to chill. So that's as much as he's seen. So when I said, I don't feel well, and he came upstairs, he sort of was trying to calm me down and, was saying, come on, let's go into, the bedroom. Why don't you go and lie down and chill out? And unfortunately, it had kind of gone way too beyond that point. He was sort of trying to calm me down and I suddenly went very rigid. And as people know, when you have a seizure, your body you lose control of it and you start to sort of jerk. So that happened, and then he obviously was pretty shocked at this point, and sort of, I think he was trying to get me into the other room. I wouldn't go, and then ended up on the floor. Had a seizure, and because it went on for quite a while, he decided to ring 999, and also because he's, like I say, had never seen me have a seizure before, so didn't really know what to do and thought he should just be safe, which I'm glad he did, to be honest. It took me a little while to come around after having the seizure, and then went into our bedroom, lay down on the bed. I was kind of shivering a bit, which is quite strange. So the ambulance turned up. I went inside with the paramedics. They asked me lots of different questions about what happened and how I felt. And then ultimately they did ask my fiance out the back of the ambulance about what had happened as well, because obviously he was able to give a more accurate analysis because I was completely unconscious during a seizure. Just want to note that they were all absolutely brilliant. They did such a good job. having to wear face masks, and it was really hot, so I don't think that was very pleasant for them. After our chat, we went to the hospital. I was given a mask to wear as well. I really didn't feel very well at this point. I was pretty groggy and felt really sick, so that was fun. I get car sick anyway, so you know, having had a seizure and then going sideways in an ambulance to a hospital doesn't really work very well for me. Got to the hospital, said goodbye to the amazing paramedic that had been helping me out. She was absolutely great. I went in through the non-COVID side of the hospital, because at the moment you go either through the COVID or non-COVID. So they wanted to do lots of tests because they wanted to establish why I'd had a seizure after nearly 5 years. I was then kind of assigned a nurse who was amazing. She came in, was asking me more questions. They ask you quite hilarious questions like, what month is it? What year is it? Do you know where you are? That sort of thing. She took my blood pressure, had to put on a gown. They did a heart trace. Then a neurologist came in and she did a sort of check for any injuries I might have sustained during the seizure, any bruises. So they sort of checked my back and my head, just in case I'd hit my head. Then she had a stethoscope and was measuring my heart and breathing. They did some strength tests, which was quite cool. Yeah, seeing how strong each of my limbs were. A few other sort of mental checks, I guess. Vision checks to see how that was faring up. And I also had to I felt really sorry for the nurse at this point. So I'm really bad with blood and any kind of blood tests or injections or anything like that. I just can't deal with it. I've always tried to deal with it, but I just can't. It's the vasovagal thing and I just can't deal with it. I feel really faint. So this nurse was putting a cannula into my arm to do all the blood tests, and I just felt awful. I was like full body sweating and being sick continually. Shortly after that, I had to go and have a chest x-ray, so just up against the machine, push my chest against the machine, and then they scanned it, did the x-ray. Everything was pretty much okay. The neurologist came back in and gave me had a quick chat with me, said that all the tests were fine, had a few sort of scuffs and bruises, minor injuries and stuff from the seizure, but generally was okay. And she just agreed that probably the reason I had it was because, there are quite a few stressful things have happened recently in life, and maybe it was just my brain telling me to chill out and take a moment. But who knows? Maybe not. But at least there was no other serious underlying cause, essentially, because they thought there might have been an infection or some other reason. So that was semi-good news. The next day, I had the day off work and just decided to chill. I mean, this is actually quite a luxury for me. Previously, I didn't always take time off after having a seizure. Your brain has just been through something pretty intense and your whole body feels pretty knackered after having a seizure. So it's probably best just to take a moment to chill. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't actually feel 100% until Saturday, so yesterday I would say. And even now, I would say that having a seizure does kind of mess up your mental health a little bit. I mean, I'm fine, but it's not the best thing to have happened, especially when, it's not an easy time at the moment for anyone anyway. So having a seizure on top of all of that is quite hard work, and dealing with the kind of effects of it, after effects and stuff. However, it's also made me think and realise that I am quite lucky that I haven't had a seizure for such a long time. I realise how difficult it is for people that have seizures more often than I do, because I've had a few years where I've really not had to worry about it too much. So essentially the whole experience made me even more appreciative of the NHS and realise how bloody amazing they are. And it made me think about the fact that I'm lucky not to have epilepsy as bad as I previously did have. I also think that you've got to take this kind of condition seriously. When I was younger, I was often embarrassed about it and didn't like to tell people about it. And now I realise that actually your health and safety is the most important thing. And who cares about anything else? You need to make sure you're okay, and you need to make sure that other people know what to do in case you do have a seizure. And life isn't always great, but there are people out there who are amazing, Like the NHS, for example, on Thursday night I clapped extra hard, I have to say, outside my house. Got out the mini frying pans and clanged them together. So yes, thank you for watching this video. Just remind you that it is National Epilepsy Week, and Epilepsy Action, they've launched this Epilepsy Space, which is an amazing website for young people to go and find out more about epilepsy. So go and check that out. Try and learn more about epilepsy, because you never know when you might be able to help someone. You might see someone having a seizure on the street, and just finding out a little bit about what to do in that situation might be very crucial. So thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.